She's losing it. I think she's losing it, don't
I
you?
agree. I completely agree with you, Dan. I think she's completely unhinged at this point.
What on earth is going on with Carol Vorderman? This is a question I know lots of folk are asking, especially after she appeared on the front page of the Sunday Times magazine saying, I have the devil in me. That's certainly something I've noticed. Carol, let me tell you, wasn't a shock to me. The thing that is so bizarre is that Vorderman, who now claims to be on the hard left and such a Tory hater that it shades everything that she does, once had a close relationship and joked around with Boris Johnson. Or what about the snowball fights with David Cameron? Or even the cozy chats with Matt Hancock at the races not that long ago. So something has happened to Carol Vorderman. What is this? Is it a grift? Is she genuinely mentally suffering because at points she seems pretty deranged at the moment? Or is there something else going on that we don't know about? Carol Vorderman, on the night of the election broadcast on Channel 4, seemed to think that under slippery Starmer, the UK was going to become a utopia. Watch this.
And everybody out there is thinking, no more of this, no more of the lies, of the deceit, of the corruption, of the...
And of course, she's been proven completely wrong from day one. This Labour government has done everything that the Conservatives did when it comes to cronyism, looking after your mates, and even getting very, very expensive designer clothes for your wife, even though you have a fortune of £10 million. But I think when people really realise that Carol Vorderman has gone so far down the hard left rabbit hole was during an instant on her LBC show where she quite literally tried to cancel Dr. Jordan Peterson, one of the world's greatest minds, an academic, live on air when it was raised by a male caller. Watch what happened.
Been through the family court and been denied access to my son from the mother's allegations. And to come back to the point about should rights automatically be denied, I think no, given the current state of the family court system. Well, I think that the family court system is actually anti-men. The whole problem is that there's a contempt of men in society. And we keep hearing, like at government level, that
I would strongly disagree with you on that, Neil. As a woman,
well, if we come back to like women's aggressions in society, so Dr. Jordan Peterson, there's a YouTube video about women's aggressions.
No. You cannot quote Jordan Peterson on my show. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just that they're on. Flipping heck. No, I'm not having that, Neil. You sounded quite reasonable, but to quote somebody like him, who I find a total misogynist, and it's just ridiculous because women are very frightened at the moment.
I've been through.
Let me bring in my superstar panel, Alex Armstrong, Father Calvin Robinson, and Dr. Renee Hoendercamp. Dr. Renee, had she lost the plot?
So I don't spend a lot of time on Carol Vorderman, I must be honest with you, because I have found her approach to everything so preachy, and again, telling us what to say and what to think, that I've actually got no time for her. I also feel that she has discovered late in life a new stardom from which she's doing very well, I'm sure. And so lots of what she does and says is, as you would call it, a grift. It's a word I hate. But so I really, really struggle with everything about her. But I did have a wry smile on my face when I listened to that interview because I've never heard it before. And I do listen to a lot of Jordan Peterson. I find him a very interesting man. And I can honestly say that whilst I don't agree with everything he says, most of it I do, I've never felt that he was a misogynist. So what I'd like these people like Carol Vorderman to do when they want to shut people down is explain to us why they're shutting them down. Tell me why he's a misogynist. Give me the examples. then I might understand. You might change my mind. But when you just cancel someone and I'm supposed to go with you, because this is what society is like now, I'm not supposed to think about it for myself. I'm supposed to listen to you. You've cancelled him. I must cancel him too. And that's our biggest problem. So I'm really not sure where Carol is coming from. I think, however, she's going to end up in such a quandary with herself now, because the Labour Party are turning into the Tories. Point two, they've become the nasty party. She's hard left. She must be spinning at night, not knowing how to respond to Keir Starmer now.
But first, digestive issues are caused by a potential toxin that's in all of the, quote, healthy foods that scientists have been telling us to eat, with a fraudulent food pyramid for the longest time. And this potential toxin causes digestive issues. According to Dr. Gundry, a world-renowned cardiologist, this is affecting millions of people nationwide. Warning signs include weight gain and fatigue, digestive discomfort and stiff joints, even skin problems. Well, Dr. Gundry explains these side effects can be manipulated and mistaken for normal signs of aging, because digestive issues develop usually over a matter of years and sometimes even decades. I can assure you that the damage is probably caused by these health foods, and it's far from normal. The good news is you can easily help fix the problem from your own home. It's very simple. You just have to know which foods are actually healthy and which contain this hidden potential toxin. So you can go find this yourself at gutcleanseprotocol.com/outspoken. That's gutcleanseprotocol.com/outspoken. I've put the link in our show notes on YouTube and Rumble too. Because after years of research, Dr. Gundry has decided to release an informative video to the public, free and uninterrupted, showcasing exactly which foods you need to avoid. Go find that video at gutcleanseprotocol.com/outspoken or click on the link in the description below. But now, back to the show. But the thing is, Alex, I don't actually believe that she's hard left. That's why I think it's a grift. I actually worked with Carol Vorderman for a period at ITV, and she was a perfectly nice woman at that point, but she's done a real U-turn. And we don't forget the photos. We don't forget that you were drinking with Boris Johnson and mucking around with David Cameron and having a laugh with Matt Hancock. So I don't think she really believes this. Do you?
I don't know anymore. She seems so convicted when she speaks about her political views. I just begin to believe she's been brainwashed. And I saw that picture where she says, "I've got the devil inside me." Well, God forbid she goes to one of Father Robinson's sermons. She'll burst into flames or melt. I don't know what would be worse for her, frankly. But no, she's just completely unhinged. And as Dr. Renee, so well put forward, Carol Vorderman doesn't seem to have an argument. She doesn't like Dr. Jordan Peterson, but I've never heard him say a misogynistic thing in his life. So she just doesn't like what he stands for, and I think this is where she's got to. She's not a politician by trade. She's actually quite immature with her politics. She thought that this Labour Party was going to be the gift from God of all political parties, and she's quickly figured out that they're the turbo Tories, as I like to call them. They've got austerity on max, all while they get their sleazy donations. Sleazy Starmers are getting their luxury goods and paid and having their lovely luxurious lifestyles. I think she's having a meltdown, and she's even blocked and protected her Twitter account because they think she wants people seeing what she used to post.
Yeah, what's that about? What's that about? She's a massive attention seeker. I couldn't understand that, Alex. Do we have any idea why someone who's a massive attention seeker with hundreds of thousands of followers has made their account private? She's losing it. I think she's losing it, don't you?
I agree. I completely agree with you, Dan. I think she's completely unhinged at this point. And I think maybe the penny dropped to that last LBC interview she did, where that pensioner got on the phone and told her, I'm in bed. I'm disabled. Me and my partner are both disabled. We don't cut the new credit system, and therefore we'll freeze this winter. And I don't think she knew what to say. And she was a big part of getting the Tories out of government. I bet she's regretting that now.
No defense for it. So, Father Calvin, as Alex says, I have to ask you about the Carol Vorderman cover. I have the devil in me. A religious man. What did you make of it?
Maybe we should take her at her words. Maybe she needs deliverance and some kind of exorcism. Who knows? Personally, I think she is a woman scorned. I don't know which of these men that she's had photographs taken with so intimately so often she was in a relationship with, but one of them has certainly scorned her. There's something deeper going on. There's a hatred here for everything Tory. So maybe Boris Johnson turned her down. Who knows what happened? But she's taking it out on the rest of us, and it's a great shame. But I do think she has become hard left. I don't think it is a grift. I think she has become hard left because she's showing us through her actions, the way she closes down debate rather than having a conversation. That's what the hard left do, right? Because there is no argument there. She can't say, I don't like Jordan Peterson's stance on X, Y, and Z, because she probably doesn't know it. She doesn't know what he's saying. So she just ad hominem attacks him, calls him a misogynist. No, won't hear any of it. That is the hard left. So she has become hard left, unfortunately. And she was so admired by so many of us in this country for so long. It's a great shame to see her fall from grace. But this always happens with these celebs. They get attracted to the culture and the fame of it all. And it's a shame because she's outlived her time. She was great on Countdown. People knew her, loved her. She was a household name. Now she's become a politician. We're all looking at her like, oh, bless you. Are you okay, love?
Yeah, and she's clearly not okay. I mean, Dr. Renee, I do think there was a serious point, though, in that phone call, right? Because you have a male, he sounded like a young male, trying to speak to her quite seriously about how young men today feel quite overlooked, quite shut down. He raised female aggression. Now, clearly it was something she disagreed with, but rather than listening to him, didn't she just play into his argument? Because she dismissed him, and she dismissed him with a laugh, as if what he was saying was completely stupid.
So when I watched her do that, I actually felt that laugh that she gave was a bit of an embarrassed laugh because she didn't want the call to continue. She didn't want to have that conversation, but she didn't really know what to say or how to handle it. And so the only thing she had left was to just shut it down. But there is a valid point here. There really is. We know that there is a whole underclass of men, young men, especially young white men and boys, who are leaving education with no aspiration, no educational achievement, they're not valued in society. And if we have a whole tranche of people who are not valued in society, how do we actually take our society forward? And it worries me that this whole feminist wave, the fourth wave as it were, has devalued the role of men in our lives so much that I think our young boys now don't know which way to turn. They don't know how to flirt with women anymore because they're not allowed to, and yet they might want to. They have testosterone raging everywhere. They don't know how to find a partner because in order to do that, believe it or not, you need to do a little bit of flirting. And they're not allowed to open doors or offer seats. They can to me, by the way. If you see me on a train, offer me a seat. I'll take it happily. And we've actually confused our young boys now that women are these superpowers who can cope without men. We can't. They can do everything without men. We can't. And actually, even if we can, it's not so much fun, I can tell you. And we've stopped valuing the role of men in society. So is it any wonder that we've reached this point where men are just turning away now and women are left wondering why men aren't opening doors and offering seats? It's a really awful place that we've got to. And what we need to do, it comes back to my earlier point about the value of children and family, is we need to actually, from school up, tell boys and girls that they're wonderful and each one of them is as valuable as the other, but even more valuable together.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please do subscribe if you want lots more clips and interviews like that. Plus, if you want to watch our totally uncensored after show, then visit www.outspoken.live.